Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. Through the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, the highway, and in the driveway. Isn't that strange? Cause I'm trying through the climb, I ain't like pain. You never hear the bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, is belief. They'll see the negativity, but I just gotta let that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran sitting on, man, I still go. Go, 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 you got a mind, but even that could change. You can flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst I say, turn it to a game. Take the best I say, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 still go, 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 slow, still go, go, there's no hope, still go, I never answer to no, I still go, go.
Case, I want to find out at a level of 7. Okay, so I find that level on my graph, and I come horizontally to my gradient line. Where it intersects with my gradient line, I'm going to come straight down to where it intersects with my fuck around line. Now there is going to tell me how much I have to fuck around to find out what I need to find out. See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also, if you stay down here and you never fuck around, you'll never find out. So I hope this lesson is helpful. Thank you.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening? The comedy session is about to start. This roast. I have to share this ridiculous cease and desist that I got yesterday via email. This is comical. This is coming from the green team. I think I will wipe my hiney with it and share the details with you all. Also, I have a guest that will be joining us for this live who happens to be there at one point very close to this person. We will learn about how the person, how she runs her YouTube, how truthful she is. But I have to bring the receipts in this one, and we have to review this. Now, I do have work. I got about 2 hours to play, which is, I believe, all the time that I will need to do this. Now, I'm dealing with a progressive who is a massive Trump hater. Matter of fact, this is the person who predicted, actually, that Kamala Harris would win the election in 2024. Couple things here. I bet you she didn't see this live coming, the psychic. And I also don't understand why I would get a cease and desist, because how could she not understand or see that I'm going to wipe my hiney with it. Now, you'd have to be crazy to say Kamala's going to win, right? When overwhelmingly, the United States of America chose Orange Man Rad, right, in this past election, right? Now, is this a political attack on a white boy? So before we go any further, let me get something real fast, just for the triggering aspect, just for the triggering aspect. Just for the triggering aspect. Okay, I'm back for the live now. So I don't know what this is, but we have to get into these receipts, people, because this is comedy gold at its best. And I thought about this, like as a legal standpoint, can I do something off this fraudulent cease and desist? And I absolutely can. Because she left herself wide open on this, wide open cooter on this, because you can absolutely go after somebody if they send you a fraudulent cease and desist. And so people, we might have to do that. What would be the point in that? Well, just for shits and giggles, just to go 2-0 versus the green team. We know Granny has already won hers with barbecue. Right. So why not, let's do this. Right. Let's do this. So we might have to do that, people. Now stick with me. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But let me explain all this. I have a guest to join. I have receipts. Let's just review this. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about the lady who claims she talks to Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy whispers sweets nothings in her ear. Right. Ted Bundy tells her where the missing children are. Right. This is who wants for me to cease and desist. Right. Now, the reasoning in her cease and desist is comical, but I have to be forward with everybody. Right. I have a little secret. I actually talk to Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay. And sometimes I even let him suck me. Sometimes I let him suck me. Okay. So I actually, in dead serial killers, I actually have one-upped her. So I just want people to understand that sometimes Dahmer will suck me. And so she thinks she can talk to Ted Bundy, but she doesn't have Dahmer sucking her. So, I just want that to be clear. Okay. But this cease and desist that I got, what's happening, Lydia? Yes, Jeffrey. So this would be the psychic sleuth. I have receipts. We have pictures. I've done lives on this person. She's green team. If you don't remember her in the very beginning, Crabtree gave me some receipts, right, via text message, okay, where he was kind of like, seeing the light. She said that she knew where Sebastian was, and how dare he actually talk to Chris and Katie, right? Because she knew where Sebastian was, right? It was this person, okay? This is the person, people. I'm not joking. She claims that she talks to Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy tells her where the missing children are. Okay, you cannot make it up if you try to, people. But I have information that, the lady has not done her taxes in 12 years. How would you prove any defamation? And who's doing the defamation here? Oh, we can get into it, people. We're going to get into it. But what am I talking about, right? What am I talking about? Let me pull up the old Twitter piece, and let's just get into this mofo. But I have special guests today. We have special guests. And the receipts on this one are very good. Very good. So let me show you what I was saying yesterday, right? Let's have a look-see at this. And then we're going to break this very down. Not in long form. This is very, very easy. And it's from Spirit. Yes. Yeah. Ted Bundy in Spirit form. How's the audio, by the way? The mic still doing good? $323 people on 73 people hit the, come on, people. Yeah. Did she do, is there a magic spell on my like button? So, come on, man, with this thing load already. If my stream, for whatever reason, goes out for whatever reason, and on this McDonald's Wi-Fi that I currently am paying money for, Just stick with me. Don't go anywhere. It'll cut right back. Audio is perfect. Great. So let's have a look-see at this cease and desist. Try not to laugh that I got as of yesterday. Let's have a look-see, shall we? Okay, ready for this? Are we ready for this? Oh man, I hope I can do this in 2 hours. All right. Okay. Unauthorized use. Okay. Regarding unauthorized use of sealed information, harassment, and defamation, please find attached the formal cease and desist notification behalf on Rochelle Lepham. Compliance is expected immediately. Dear Matthew White, lol, aka White Boy Radio. Okay, hold on. This letter serves as a formal cease and desist notice regarding your continued publication, discussion, and dissemination of sealed or private matters relating to Rachel Lepham, aka the Psychic Slueth. Please be advised that this notice is being sent on behalf of an authorized representative with full authorization. I'm sorry, I skipped this part. It comes to our attention that you have made public statements and videos referencing past matters, which are no longer a matter of public record, as they have been sealed and expunged by the court. Your unauthorized use of this information constitutes a serious violation of legal rights, including but not limited to invasion of privacy, harassment, defamation, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. You are hereby notified to remove all videos, post referring to these sealed matters. Cease and desist from publishing, discussing, or otherwise communicating any reference to private affairs going forward. Cease any additional harassment, defamation, or invasion of any privacy in any form. So my response to this is you're going to have to cease these nuts. And this is what happened, people. So this lady thinks she's slick. First of all, what in God's... So the class. It says, referencing past matters which are no longer a matter of public record, as they have been sealed and expunged by the court. Now, how would I get any sealed or expunged material? Did I do a FOIA request? No. And even if I did a FOIA request, that's within the Freedom of Information Act, right? So what is she even talking about? So what have I reported on this channel? Well, we reported on the animal abuse charges that she pled guilty to. Okay, as an animal abuse awareness live, we did that, right? I also read an article, right, that a journalist did about how the fraudulentness of the workings in her psychic material, what her spirit does. This guy did an extensive expose on her, and I read that in full detail, right? All of this is public knowledge. All of it's public knowledge. Now, here's how slow, and as a psychic, you would think she would have seen this coming on her end, but this lady is the same person who tried to get my channel mass reported, which I actually spoke to YouTube about. Now, let's have a look-see at something, right? So at the time, it was like over a year ago. I've been doing YouTube a long time, and I've never met somebody who gets so butthurt, right? And has such an ego issue than this lady, right? I'm talking about rent-free in her head, right? But she did a Karen move, right? One of the articles about her animal abuse stuff, one of the articles regarding the animal abuse stuff that I reported on, she did massive Karen, whatever she did with the mass reporting. She must have contacted whoever and got the Google page taken down, right? Here's the thing, right? This is as far as I could tell, right? But here's the thing. The thing about this is, at the time of reporting about it, right, I sourced a Google, right, article, right, that was not taken down, right? If after the fact you go and get an article taken down, well, that's just the article, right? It doesn't change your plea in court, right? It doesn't make you not guilty of all charges, right? You've already convicted of charges, right? I'm sure, right? There's articles written about me in my heydays. I'm sure there are, right? But if I pled out in court, if I took a plea, right? If I took a plea, then I took a plea. I can't change that. You're not expunging anything. Or nothing sealed if you're a Karen. It doesn't. If you're a Karen, you didn't seal anything. You didn't get anything expunged. You're just a Karen, right? You got something taken down, right? But I didn't report or read the article after you got it taken down. At the time that I did, it was on Google. So what are you even talking about, lady? What are you even? This is coming from the lady who I literally have a recording of her talking about, well, I've talked to my attorneys about White Boy and they said they can't do anything. So you would go pay for a cease and desist to get delivered. Stop it right now. Just stop it right now. We know that this is game. We know that this is game. And I'm not going to cease. I'm not going to desist. Right? At all. Ted Bundy should have told you about this, right? I'm going to keep doing whatever I want to do, whatever I want to report on. And if that happens to be you, right, I will absolutely do it. The funny thing is, lady, like, your ego is insanely, right? You think, right, everyone is always thinking about you. You think that everybody, I am in your head bad. The fact of the matter is, right, I like to get it and go, right? I like to get it and go. If I'm talking about a grifter, I like to cover them for a little bit and then move on to something else. The Sebastian Rogers case, right? The green team has been one of the longest things I've covered on my channel because there's so many clowns involved and these people fumble the ball every day. It's hard to get past, right? And a lot of my audience is involved in that case and likes it. But there's so many players and there's so many rejects in this case that it's hard to move past it and report on something else. But normally the way that I run my channel is I get it and go. So nobody's focused on you. The fact that you try to play this victim card, right, and bring attention to yourself, you make it almost too easy. You make it actually simple, right? But we're going to learn about this lady today as I drop the link here momentarily. And we have a special guest today, people. A special guest from the inside, right? And this is going to burn, baby, burn when you hear some of the shit that won't happen behind the scenes, people. Let me catch up on some of these comments. Ted Bundy wouldn't give her the time of the day. I agree with that. The internet is forever. You're hurting her pocket. That's why she's upset. Well, what's up, Kathy P? Let's talk about it. I would love for you to cover this and this lady. What's up, Canvas is in here? What's up, Canvas and Crime? Hey, where's she at? What's up, Rachel? Thank you for gifting me. Oh, what's up, Queefer? What's up, Shay B? Kathy, you should cover this lady. Canvas, thank you so much. Guys, the new audio, this is from Canvas and Crime. Check out her channel. Check out her website. She does matter of fact, speaking of serial killers, she does serial killer art and very good art at that. Check it out. It's badass. I need to keep a piece of her art over here by my computer. But the microphone came from Canvas. She's good people. We love her. Check out her channel and her website, guys. You have to. I will always plug my friend Canvas in Crime. But guys, this is comical. I want to go over some of these receipts. This lady is a joke. She literally, did you guys see this cease and desist? This is comical, right? So let me show you some other stuff regarding this cease and desist, right? So real quickly, right? I did a little bit of sleuthing behind it. Let me just go over some notes real fast. But nothing is sealed. Nothing is, none of this is sealed. None of this is expunged. I don't know what that's, what the hell that is, right? Before I bring the link for my guest, when I say rent free, this is over a year ago. 1.5 thousand views, right? She can't stand it, right? But she can't stand it. But I am hurting her pocket. I am waking people up that have absolutely went down her grift, right? Went down her grift, believed her, right? And make no mistake, she is a grifter. I mean, people, Ted Bundy. Now, when you Google this email address that this fraudulent cease and desist was sent, right? And I will not be ceasing, and I will not be desisting. You can cease these nuts. The services provided by this email that she sent this to me involve this. Yahoo offers client protection services through featured resources aimed at safeguarding your accounts and data. Here's some of the things that this email that came from. This is what they offer: Security Operations Center, incident response policy, multi-layer security, password security, two-step verification, data retention, security alerts, Yahoo Help Central, subscription services. Yeah, I don't see anything legal, lady. Dirt. Now, also, the dirt. Did you guys see that? Yeah, you saw that. Now, hold on, guys. Let me cook. Here's what I'm talking about. Check this out. Here's what I'm talking about. And this is where we're at, guys. This is where we're at due to ego. And make absolutely no mistake about it. White boy is all over this. And the light bulbs are going off left and right. If you can't see them glaring on my face in the lighting in front of me, have a look-see at this. So I said, can you sue against a fraudulent cease and desist letter? Yes, you can sue against a fraudulent cease and desist letter, particularly if it contains false accusations or defamation that cause you harm. A cease and desist letter, while a formal demand to stop a specific activity, is not legal binding on its own. If the letter is fraudulent, meaning it contains false information or makes unsubstantiated claims, you may have grounds for a defamation or misrepresentation lawsuit. Here's more detailed explanation. Cease and desist letters are not enforceable. False accusations, defamation, damages. So here's where I want to come in, guys. You see, here's the thing, guys. Actually, guys, what I need to be saying here right now, before I bring my guest up, is, guys, the thing about it is, guys, what about my feelings? What about my feelings, and what about guys? I am going through damages. Okay. What happened is, guys, the abuse, I don't think I can take this much longer. I mean, the attacks and abuse that I'm going for and Me Too and stuff, like, I don't know if I can really keep going on. the defamation, and I mean, I'm gonna need pain and suffering. Okay, this is just it's going on too long, people. Okay, what about my feelings? What about me? Okay, me baby, okay, me baby. I'm doing cease and desist too. I have feelings too. I need pain and suffering too. Okay, so I don't know what the next step is here, guys, but we're gonna have to take this very serious. Okay, so now let's have a couple clips of this Trump derangement of this lady. Is it political? Right? It's not political, but I just want to tell the internet that she told everybody that this is how good of a psychic she is. Kamala Harris is going to win the election, right? Now, if you remember the article that I read about on this journalist that broke down her psychic spirit abilities, right? He said that she does research, right? And then she goes on the live and acts as the spirit, right? Is telling her what's happening when she already done these things, right? When in fact, I have a key witness, an ex mod. You know why she's so triggered? Because her ex mod has seen the light. Her ex mod has seen the truth, and she wants the ex mod silenced too. Because guess who else got a cease and desist yesterday? Ex mod, right? Who happens to be in my chat? Who happens to be the guest of this show? Who happens to be a mod of mine, right? Just as a lot of my subscribers are. I have plenty of subscribers who have came from these shitty channels, from these grifter channels, right? From these tragedy pimp channels that one time they had faith and supported these people, right? But they saw through the light, right? There's plenty of subscribers of mine that are like that, who have came from all different channels, right? That we have talked about. But it's just some comedy stuff here, people. You cannot make this up, right? Nothing was sealed, nothing was expunged. She plays the victim. You've told people to mass report my channel. I had to bring this up I've spoke directly to YouTube about this. And on top of all this, who's doing the defaming? Let's have a look-see, shall we? Now, people, what about my feelings? Okay, what about my feelings? Okay, so we might have to sue people. Okay, here's the thing. Okay, I'm dead serious about it now. Okay, I mean, you should not have fucked around because it's find out time. Okay, we're on stage find out now. Okay, you have fucked around and we're crossing into find out stage. Now, what is this about? What is this about, people? Let's have a look-see. We have some look-sees to do. This is Vanished and Forgotten in the chat, mod of mine. This is on her channel. This would be a personal post from the person who sent the cease and desist. And it is saying about white boy is a horrible effing person that is a racist and a drug addict. So you can't sit here and talk about other people if you hang out with them or go into their lives or whatever, because aligning yourself with those kind of people, you can do what you want. Yeah, but it says a lot. So exactly. I told you to leave me alone a long time ago when you didn't shut up. So how funny how that works, huh? Of course, you are blaming others. You never take accountability for your actions. You always blaming others because you never do anything wrong, do you? Interesting, people. Here's how this thing called slander works right on the internet. You should know this if you're a creator. If you don't know this, you're right? It's not slander for me to talk about something that you've been convicted by of the court, right? It's not slander if I say, hey, so-and-so is stupid. But if I say, hey, so-and-so is a chomo, right? Then that's slander to somebody. That's the difference, right? This person is saying that I'm doing libel and slander because I'm reporting to you guys, right, that there's animal abuse in the past, right? That, and this lady has even admitted to her own story about this animal abuse of 80 plus animals, right? I also, belong to a lot of psychic groups on Facebook. psychics actually enjoy the channel. They liked when I pushed the bad ones out of their community, right? This is definitely a fraudulent psychic, right? In my opinion, right? There's even a journalist who did an expose about her. This is all not slander, right? All I'm doing is reading an article that's already written, right? Or reading your charges that she plead guilty to, right? How is that slander? The problem is, where's the racist comment? Where's the racist content that you see of me? Calling somebody racist, it is can hurt me, can cost me. A drug addict, lady, you're so stupid. I have an interview with my mom on here, a heartfelt in-person interview, right? Where I interview my mom over losing her son to addiction, over the loss of a child. How dumb are you? How dumb are you? So you really, really have such an ego problem that this is going to turn around on you as a 180. I can't believe Ted did not tell you that this was coming your way. I can't believe Ted did not tell you the find out part. Say that you're going to sit here and be hypocritical because you're literally were alive and he's admitted you've been in his lives and he's a drug. So white boy is the perfect person. I mean, you shouldn't have been in his life in the first place. Horrible effing person. Okay, so it's okay for you to message me, but I have to stop talking. I told you to leave me F alone. I don't know how many messages ago, but it's like, okay, we'll stop talking. Lady, I've never spoken to you in my life. You're not going to tell your ex-mod and my mod, right? Why would I tell you, a grifter, right, that my current mod, right? Why would I tell you anything about my mod? You could not prove that I talked to you ever, right? You could not go live and show anything of me talking to you. That is another lie. That is part of your grift. You are untruthful. This is how easy it is and kind of how done you are. But people, at this point, I think what we have to do is drop the link in the chat so you could hear head on, first on, from somebody who is has been very close to this person. Vanish, there you go. I will play these clips of the Trump derangement after Vanish gets down, but I want you to hear from her ex-mod herself. Now, you may ask yourself, well, I've kind of been here, done that, right? I know the whole ex-moderator thing, right? And for the record, I'm not a big fan of the whole ex-moderator thing. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is I have, I'm going to drop her channel right now. So what I mean by that, right, is I've been in lives where moderators have came and done the expose on the creator. Personally, for me personally, I don't like those lives because all it is for myself is words. The problem is this is something different. How? Well, because the lives that I'm talking about, when it's just a moderator coming in on with no receipts, just words, I don't like anything without receipts. But here on the screen, as you can see, is the guest who's about to join us. Not only a mod, but used to join this creator's panel. There's the psychic sleuth on the left, and we have Vanish. Hold on, Vanish. Let me just play this real fast off your channel. Vanish is on the right, and Vanish comes with receipts, not just words. So that's what I mean, people. I'm going to play this video real fast.
So just saying. I've gotten Brian before, but it could be because someone lived there. I also got Ryan before it because they live there. It doesn't mean anything. Not Brian.
What's up,
God, that's why she says I'm wrong. She's got her own POI.
What's up, Lisa?
Chat, you're more than welcome to go do your own reading and make your own channel. So just saying. I've gotten Brian before, but it could be because someone lived there.
Okay, I wanted to just show that real fast. So how are you doing, Vanished? Are you here? You're here. Yes. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
So I have some questions for you. I just want to show a couple things real fast here. What was that? Where was I at? So, okay, let me go back to that post that you had on your community wall that I just posted. That conversation, she's telling you that I told her about you. Is that what that was? What is that?
Yeah, she said that you admitted that I was on your lives.
Yeah, I've never spoken to that lady in my life. She's a complete lying grifter. But I did have some questions for you. How long did you mod for her?
About a year and a half.
A year and a half. So you've talked to her, I mean, countless times on the phone with phone conversations, with emails, correct?
Yep, we talked and messaged like in this one group every single day for almost 2 years.
Okay. So I have a lot of your receipts that you've sent me. I appreciate that. So I've heard that you also got a cease and desist, correct?
Yes, I did.
Didn't she? Could you explain this 12 years of no taxes getting paid?
So she told me 10 years.
10 years, I'm sorry.
Yep, but then it's been 2 years later, and I'm assuming she probably didn't because she didn't the other 10 years. A friend told me that she had claimed that she hadn't claimed taxes in 12 years. So it's been 12 years of her paying no taxes. So
that's interesting.
If she's trying to cease and desist, she's going to have to prove her taxes.
Yes, she is.
For loss of income. So good luck on that one.
Yeah, you have to prove loss, and you have to provide your taxes to show income, this and that. The thing is, though, as a YouTuber, you have to pay taxes. As a YouTuber, you have to pay taxes, right? So for me, it's easy. I work. I have a normal income tax return. I take care of my YouTube taxes while I'm there with my job stuff. But YouTubers who don't work, right? They have to go in, pay taxes. It's a 1099, so it costs them money. I remember Doug, no thanks, the other canceled tragedy pimp, he was always complaining that he owes his YouTube money. Benny Keys has been in trouble with this as well because he never put a channel in his name. So when this lady has tried to mass report my channel, now that I know you haven't paid your taxes in 12 years, not only is this cease and desist dead, I'm gonna have to do an audit on the IRS of you, right? If anybody thinks and feels that I didn't pay my taxes, please do your civic duty, right? Please do your civic duty and request an audit on old white boy, right? I can promise you, you're wasting your time. But if you feel that way, it's your civic duty to do so. And I just can't let this lady go without her taxes getting paid, because YouTube will absolutely put a hold on that Google AdSense. So this is interesting. Okay, now I want to go ahead.
She also told people to mass report my channel too.
Yes. So the thing with that is, it doesn't matter if 1 million people report your channel. What happens is YouTube will look at it, right? They decide, right? Just because she says that it's bullying, just because she is being a Karen and she directs other people who she's giving misinformation to people who are just blindly following someone to tell them to do something, right? YouTube will look over the content, and obviously what she's claiming is completely untrue, because if anything remotely close of what she's crying about was true, I'd have been gone with her mass reporting, right? YouTube, it doesn't, they changed their policy on the mass reporting, right? if they'll look it over and if they find no reason, she doesn't understand, right? When you do YouTube, you can do educational content, you can do criticism, right? She doesn't understand these things that come into play, right? She's a victim on everything. Everybody's a bully. She doesn't understand how this thing works, and that's why she epically fails every time. But as of me getting in her head, she knows that I help the Wells with misinformation. Was it told to you that she started covering the Summer Wells case and using a missing child to do it in spite?
Yes. She's doing Summer Wells to spite you.
Insanity. A missing child for your weird games. Okay, that is just sick, chat. Now, could you explain the situation with the goat? When the goat, the period of time with this goat.
So she called me saying that the goat died and was crying about how she's gonna pay for the cremation. And she's like, "Oh well, all I have to do is cry, or all I have to do is go on YouTube and cry, and people will feel sorry for me and give me money." And then after that was over, she goes, "That's how you grift, or that's how you hustle." She goes, "And now that's how you hustle."
That's how you hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Who are her loyal followers? Have they ever paid her bills?
Yeah, well, she says all she has to do is go on YouTube and make people feel sorry for her, and they give her money for anything that she wants. So let's say she cries about her car, she'll go on there and cry about her car being shut off, and people will give her money, or
Interesting. That's crazy. So she's sad fishing, essentially. That's called sad fishing.
Yeah, where she puts the pity parties on YouTube and make people feel sorry for her. And she repeated that over and over again. All I have to do is go on YouTube and make people feel sorry for me, and they give me money for anything I want.
So as a moderator, first off, let me ask you this first. As a moderator for my channel, do I call you before I go live? Do I ask you for any favors? Do I ever bother you?
No.
Have I ever asked you to do anything for me?
No.
As a moderator for this grifter's channel, did you maybe edit videos for her, or what?
Yes.
What did you do for her?
I did. I made a lot of her shorts. I edited a lot of her videos. A lot. I did a lot. I did hours and hours and hours of work. And then as a mod, you have to delete everything that's said about negative about her.
Interesting. That I believe that. After all these hours of work and editing videos, did any of her subs know this? The amount of help that you did?
Some subs did, but not a lot, no.
Did any of them try to maybe contact the grifter to say, you know what, let me help Vanish out. I'd like to send a donation or something to her. I know she's, contributing a lot to the channel.
They did, but I didn't receive anything from her or anyone, which I wouldn't have taken it from the subs anyways, because that's not why I was helping.
Anybody who's a moderator in the chat besides Vanish, if you are a mod, written in the stars, have I ever texted you, hey, I'm going to go live, you make sure to be in the chat? Or have I ever asked you to drop a link or directed you in text form to do anything, right? Any mods, if you catch us on replay or whatever, feel free to comment if I've ever bothered you, ordered you. And listen, everybody has their own channel. People run their channels different, and they ask their moderators to do stuff. That is a normal thing, right? But I would never expect my mods to do editing and upload videos, right? And just do all the stuff. But there's a lot of receipts that you have given me. I just kind of want you to say your piece as far as, I guess how I should ask you this is like, how did it start with, when did you see it? when did you, because obviously at some point you were helping her, like, and you believed in her, you supported her channel and stuff. When did you notice, like, wait a minute, there's shenanigans? When did you notice it?
Well, I started questioning it when we did Quinn's, because she had every video, she would send me articles and videos and say, hey, watch this. And when we would go live, she would basically repeat everything that was in the videos and articles and say it was from Spirit. And I'm like, no, like, you already know this. You gave this information to me. And so I started writing stuff down then. And towards the end, I think when she figured that I noticed, she wouldn't let me research anything, but I think she had already had, because she wouldn't let me research anything. And then when we would go live, subs would be like, well, she doesn't even know what she's like. She doesn't even know about the case. Well, no, I didn't.
And when you were on panels together and stuff, how did that go?
Well, I was only allowed to say yeah, and if she got anything wrong, I wasn't allowed to say anything.
You weren't allowed to say anything. So it's her way or no way.
Yeah, if she wasn't right, I was never allowed to say no or no, that's wrong.
So let me ask you this. I know she can't stand a white boy. I absolutely get and crawling underneath her skin. I know that I do, right? I crawl underneath that thing, right? Bad, right? And I live in her head, right? Has there ever been and so do you, to as what I can see, has there ever been like a time when you were friends, modding the channel, helping, contributing, that there has been like a YouTube scuffle, if you will, maybe a psychic beef, maybe Ted came in hot one time, but has there been has there ever been like some type of YouTube conflict between another creator and her, where like she had to mass like delete all negative? What is that like the thinking and like nothing negative about me, I must be perfect? Like, who does that?
Yeah, I don't know.
But was there any like a beef between another creator by the time you helped her?
Yeah, Mystic Brady, and she got into it. Yeah, yep, she got into our fight with her because she was saying that she was copying her stuff. And then
So were all the mods directed to be under Kim Jong-un, North Korea censorship as well during this beef?
Yep. And then Donna, but what she does is she'll talk bad about other psychics so that you don't watch them because she copies them. And then she'll she'll talk bad about them so nobody watches them. And so that they only watch her. But she does watch many, many tarot readers and many, many psychics. And she puts the information together and then she'll use it. I noticed that in the Kansas City 4 or the Kansas City 3 that passed away, there was a tarot reader, it was 2 tarot readers. She had basically watched them and put it together and made her supposed spirits gave it to her.
Interesting. She said, do you know about this? She got into a fight with Donna also. So she hates on Donna. What was it? What was this over?
That was over the Idaho 4 case.
And didn't she get something wrong altogether in that case or something like that?
Yeah. She said the name Brian or Ryan or whatever in one of the videos, but then Sub had said, hey, it's Brian. And she's like, which you played that one. I found the video where I found the clip where she says it's not Brian, but yet she was telling everybody, oh, I got Brian, I was right. But what she doesn't know is, or what she's not realizing, or what she won't show, is that she said it wasn't Brian, but then it came out after that to be Brian, and then she's all like, I got it right.
Interesting.
But no, she was wrong.
So let me ask you about like the research that you did for these lives and these videos. Like, tell me about like the research that you would do in these cases, right? And then when the live cranked up from this grifter, all of a sudden, right, spirit is telling her these things.
Yeah. She'll go through the videos and articles and send it to me, and then I would research, but then there would be articles and videos that she would send me. And then when we would go live, she would only say the information that was in those videos and those lives.
That is exactly.
And then, yeah, and then say that it was from Spirit. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was in the article.
That is exactly what that article was talking about with that journalist in how she covered cases. This guy broke her down to the T. She does, minor research, right? And she'll say Spirit is telling her the missing child is in the woods by a road, right? Because she's already either found out, listened to, heard, or done research that the child, was located right by the road off a highway. The guy broke it down so well. If it wasn't so extremely long, I would read it right now. I will source it in the description box, and I'll pin it in the comment, guys. It is an expose done on this creator by a journalist, right? But this is not sealed information. Nothing I've ever said about this person has been sealed or expunged. This is in her, that must have came from Ted Bundy. But apparently it was in this generic cease and desist that we had both received yesterday. Now.
So I wanted to say something about for the Delphi case. She did a reading. She did a reading for that, which I wasn't part of that at that time. But when she had me clip the short, like she said a bunch of guys' names, but then when she had me clip the short, she made sure that I clipped where she said Ryan and Alan, and she made me put it together and then send it to her so she could post it to show that she got Richard Allen. But really, she didn't even say the names together. She had me clip it together.
Wow. I think you have a video about that. Kathy P, absolutely. So she's a reading thief. Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. Didn't like 10 readings. They were all different, blaming all different people.
Well, she's got like 5 or 6 Idaho cases, and it was the new theory out at the time. Is when she'd be like, oh, we gotta go live. This is out now. So, like, how do you have, if you're talking to the same people from the same case, how do you have 5 or 6 different theories? Well, eventually one of them was right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Most people, yeah, that's absolutely good. That's a good point. She is absolutely what that article said. She's a grifter. But what's interesting about this tragedy pimp to me is I don't even know how to word this. Chat, you might have to help me if you're listening to this, and Vanish by all means, is this ego that she has. Like,
oh gosh,
she is very, very criticism of her, or this live that we're doing, this discussion that we're doing. She's going to watch it. She's going to read every single comment, right? She's going to get red in the face. She'll punch the air a little bit, right? Like a 12-year-old brat, right? But she cannot stand, right? She thinks like she is #1 psychic in the world. She thinks that she has a gift. She thinks that she is the best in the world, right? Like, how dare somebody say the psychic sleuth, right, is a grifter, right? This is actually what she believes in her crazy head, right? And this is the problem. It's like poison with YouTube. This is what I've seen and been dealing with for years on this platform, exposing these tragedy pimps, exposing these grifters. There is something, I call it YouTube ego. And it is something that is so hard to describe, but every tragedy pimp has it, right? She has it to the maximum level. When you have to be able to laugh at yourself in life. It doesn't, I don't get embarrassed putting on a wig, right? Or making fun of myself, right? Which is why it's hard for these tragedy pimps to get under my skin, because I make fun of my own self. I laugh at my own self, right? I don't erase comments if people, are clowning on me a little bit, and in the comments or whatever, right? Sure. Will I remove somebody being a complete dick? Absolutely. But if someone has a joke or whatever, yeah, I'm going to let ride. Ego, though, I've learned on this platform is crazy. And her ego is insane. Like, she thinks that I'm hurting her pocket, like someone said in chat, but she thinks as though like the entire YouTube is watching my videos of her. She's not smart enough to realize if she would just shut up, right? I'd probably forget about her and move on to the next one, right? So either it's bothering her so much, or she's purposely like wanting me to talk about her. It's one of the two. But I think it's the ego thing. I think that she cannot get over the fact that I've done these lives. She cannot get over the fact that how dare I, right? How dare I talk about her record, lady? You're convicted of animal abuse. Isn't it felonies, Vanished?
Yes, it's a felony. Yes.
And did she tell you this?
Yes. She's
Okay.
on that what is it? NCIC list, something like that, for
Yeah.
for nationwide, that she's not supposed to have that many animals.
The Psychic
also,
Sleuth, as a former felon, I don't appreciate the hostility. We have to stick together as felons. And the fact that you are people, what about my feelings? What about my feelings? What about my pain and suffering? Okay, now there's a couple pictures here. You may need to explain a couple things. There is somebody about the show that's called in this conversation. This is between her and you, and there's a Candace in this conversation. Would you mind for conversation's sake explaining maybe who that is when I read this? No, yes.
About the Candace that was brought up?
Yeah, let me show you the screenshot so you're understanding what I'm saying here. So here is this is what is on Messenger?
Yes.
Text. So this is from her to you, correct?
Yes, she spammed harassed me, so I had to block her because I talked to you.
Okay. So I'm going to take a stab at this and correct me if I get anything wrong. So she says, that's the whole reason that we got into a fight, in case you forgot. So obvious you did care. You're the one that threw a fit over it. That was the whole situation. I don't know why you don't remember that. And Candace isn't a drug addict anymore. She's clean and sober, and she has me for quite some time. So, but I need to say that you're going to sit here and be hypocritical, because you're literally were in a live, and he's admitted you've been in his lives, and he's a drug addict. So white boy is the perfect person. I mean, you shouldn't have been in his life in the first place. Horrible effing person. Okay, so it's okay for you to message me, but I have to stop talking. I told you to leave me alone. Effing, I don't know how many messages ago, but it's like, okay, we'll stop talking now. Oh, yeah, because you're done with the conversation. Okay. Candace, if I take is this another subscriber, maybe a mod of hers?
It's one of her friends, yeah.
Shout out to Candace, whoever that is. It looks like the woman's going through some addiction issues, or has been. Maybe she's clean and sober. Who knows? I don't know if she's currently struggling with it. Shout out to anybody who is dealing with addiction, whether it's you yourself, a friend, a family member, a coworker. It is. I've never used the platform to call people like drug addicts and said these negative things. I know a lot of drug addicts that don't abuse animals. I know a lot of drug addicts that don't even have felonies. I know a lot of drug addicts that do have felonies, right? Regardless of the case, what I find on YouTube is a lot of people have been through addiction themselves, and they come on here and call people addicts and junkies and this and that, which I guess to each his own. I don't do that. I try never to clown somebody for that. Will I call it out if I see another creator who's high? absolutely I will. I'll call it out, right? Because that's that's in recovery, right? But she is calling me a drug addict. I would be, I challenge you to a year and a half. I challenge you to a year and a half, Psychic Sleuth, right? You and Ted Bundy, right? I challenge you to a year and a half of, I challenge you, right, to go to your local CVS as a year and a half, right? I want to see who the drug addict is, right? I want to see. This is the stupidest statement you've ever said about me being a drug addict, right? For half of the time I've been on YouTube, I held a CDL license, right? When you have a CDL license, you have to get a medical clearance for that, right? You have to see a DOT physical every 2 years when you hold a CDL license, right? Everybody knows I drive trucks. This is used to. This is not a secret, right? But you have random urine tests when you hold a CDL license. You have to you have to go for a physical every 2 years, right? There's absolutely no addict in CDL drivers, right? It's just a bad combination if you are, right? But on top of that, the position that I have now, right? I work for a company. I'm a co-owner in the company. Every employee is, right? So I get stock of this company. It's not public. Nobody can buy it, but everybody's a co-owner of this company. And we also get random urine tests, right? I don't grift and work, right? I don't talk to Ted Bundy as a source of income, right? I pay my taxes, right? I go to work. It's the dumbest thing, right? I'm 220 pounds. If you look at me versus any 90% of most male YouTubers, I guarantee white boys looking more healthy than them, right? What addict weighs 220 with muscles, abs, and biceps? As a psychic, you didn't see this one coming. Nothing that you come up with even makes remotely any sense. But I wanted just to emphasize this addict stuff of this lady, Candace, because what about my pain and what about my suffering, right? I do see this too. It's just what's her deal with addiction?
Candace's?
No, Psychic Sleuth.
Oh, I don't know. I know she does marijuana. But also she said she couldn't get a job because she has a felony, so she can't get a job at DoorDash.
Unbelievable.
And she can't and she can't vote.
That's comical. What a moron. What a moron, because as a felon, I have worked for Fortune 500 companies as a felon. And it takes about 30 seconds to get your voting rights back, filling out a form at the Office of Clemency. You would think Ted Bundy would tell her these things. You would think Ted would whisper these things into her ear and lace her up on a little bit of game, right? She's one of those dumb felons, right? She's one of them felons that doesn't even try to do anything. The felon that says, "Oh, the man is holding me back. They ain't hiring me because I got no. That's called laziness. That's called laziness. You're just a grifter."
Yep.
That's all that is. Nicole, thank you for the $2 earlier. Debbie, Felons Act. I appreciate that, Debbie. Thank you so much. I don't know when you guys did this. I've been yapping. I do not. Thank you guys. I appreciate it very much. I do not like people with these fake, fraudulent legal things, and it's just a little bit under my skin today. I'm at work, not grifting, and I get a notification, and it's from a grifter and a fake cease and desist. Pissed off about it, right? So immediately I crank up and do a post, and then she makes a post on her channel, and here we go with the victim stuff. Here we go with, the rumors are true. I did do the cease and desist. Here's what's not going to happen, people. I'm not ceasing anything. I'm not desisting anything, and I know that she's not going to move forward with anything because that is comedy in itself. That would be a comedy session in itself for her to do so, right? There are so many loopholes with what she's even saying, right? That it's comical, right? What I may do though is I may move forward. I am strongly thinking about it, right? Even if I have to dip into my 401k account to get an attorney, right? You know, I've never done the GoFundMe. I've never asked my subs for nothing, right? There's no sub that's ever can possibly produce one receipt of, you know, white boy asked me for $50, $5, right? There's been plenty of times I desperately need it, been struggling like a motherfucker, right? Never asked my audience for anything, right? So I'm not sure how we're going to do this, y'all, but I would just love to just destroy one of these tragedy pimps. And here's the thing. This lady's ego is so big, right? If I was to push the envelope on this, we could make like case law. When you Google her name, old white boy shows up, right? A case where, you know, this is the find out phase of fucking around, find out, where she sends these fraudulent cease and desist, right? She would do this to herself, right? So, you know, I don't know legally what I can get out of this, right? What if I was to hire a lawyer? Is it going to go to like small claims? Does this lady have a pot to piss in? Like what is the big goal here, right? So I have to do some research, and I don't know where and how we are going to go with this, but we will absolutely not ever comply to any. First off, we're not taking no demands. We're not taking any orders from any tragedy pimps, from any green teams, right? That's never going to happen, right? Never going to happen. Never going to happen, right? Never. If you ever watch UFC, some guys get knocked out, some guys tap out. We're not tapping, right? We're not going to tap. We're not doing any of that. So it's just going to happen. This is how we're running this channel, man, forever. And she's going to have to live with that. But, okay, I'm blabbing. I got some more questions. I have some more notes. Just go ahead and take it from the top. Say anything maybe that's on your mind regarding this. Nothing?
Well, about her ego, if you don't say she's right, she will try to prove, or she will keep making excuses of how you're wrong.
Really?
And yep. And this morning I got 2 screenshots. I guess in a live last night, she said that her animals got out and she didn't even, some of her dogs got out and was at animal control and she didn't even realize they were gone because she has like 50 plus animals.
You're right about that. I have these right here. I'm going to show these. My bad. You did share them with me. Let me.
Yeah, I gave them to you this morning.
They're coming right now, chat. They're coming right now. So in the live last night, you know, I want to show something else as well with this. So in this cease and desist, she's talking about things that are sealed, things that are expunged, right? Again, my conclusion to that would be that article, right?
Yeah, the article was taken. Yeah, the article was taken down, but it's not expunged or closed. It's not sealed. That's a lie. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, I want to show this first. This is just for court documentation. This is from a long time ago. So here's her talking about, here is her chat. Somebody says, white boy and Steven are actually pathetic for dragging this up again. Why? What's the point? It's so dumb. So that's her talking about her animal abuse stuff, right? And her talking about me, one of her subs about me and Crabtree. What is this? Is this Trump derangement right here? This is okay, I don't know what this is. But this is Trump derangement. This is,
why can't I outrun it? People don't seem to give a crap that Trump is a sexual predator, but I can't outrun this. Like, what the fuck?
What is the deal with her political thing? What's her thing with Trump?
Oh my gosh, she hates Trump. She keeps you want to talk about defamation. She keeps saying that he's a pedophile and why would we want him in office, and Kamala is going to win, which she was wrong, you know.
I have some clips of that. I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I'm going to show you how she's trying to prove her. She thinks Kamala. She said Kamala is going to win. I'm going to explain how she does her spirit stuff and how she justifies her readings here regarding that. Here is the. Let me see. What is this? So here it is. Here and then it was kind of embarrassing. And then TikTok. I know, but the problem is I have all these like
Bills. She's got her bills. See?
Yep.
And then she was talking about the dogs being out, or that the dogs got out.
Let me see. Hold on, let me get it.
I got all these.
I'll play this jump arrangement for you guys here in a second because it's pretty comical. Just to explain, like how this lady operates. It's definitely worth. Oh look! Listen. Where did this picture go? Give me a second. God dang it! It would be right here. Here it is. Got it. So let's do this. Hey, babe! Babe! You got to get up, my love. It's 11:03. Where's those notes? I'm live, so I'm coming here with butt naked or nothing. What? Yeah, I need them notes. Yes. Been live. Okay, so let me here is what the hell? What am I doing here?
Sure.
So many dogs need to realize someone listening. It says
I circled it.
No. It says I'm not facing the door, it's the other way. It says, all my craziness happened. I found out my dogs were gone. I didn't even know they were going. Listen, it's no secret. The lady had, if you don't know, if you're watching the replay, guys, the lady had, what was it? I'm not even joking. Was it 80 or 60 dogs?
No, the first time she got her animals taken away, she had 80 animals.
80 animals, guys. 80 animals. That is insanity, right?
And now she has at least 50 plus.
50 plus now?
Yes.
So, yeah, that's crazy as hell. When it comes to tragedy pimps and grifters, Noel...
I mean, I kept getting April. Maybe he'll get...
Noel actually rescues animals. So, for the chat, when it comes to these people who hurt animals, we enjoy... I like to find the ones with the animal abuse stuff because, look, animals and kids and animals are absolutely off limits, guys. I mean, that's common sense. And elderly. I want to show you guys this, though, right?
Good morning, everyone.
This is from the other night. I'm going to let it play about 5 minutes, okay? This is from the other night.
Morning.
From live. This is how she operates, guys. This is exactly how she operates. Remember, she said Kamala was going to win the election, right?
Yep. And then now that she's wrong, she's going to go justify.
Exactly. And that's exactly what she's doing in this clip. So I want to play this for everybody, just so you understand, how this lady works, right? She has to justify, because she said Kamala was going to win. So she's got to find a reason for Kamala to win. Let's have a listen.
I'm going to beat you alive.
Yeah, I mean, as we get older, it's easy.
Oh,
No, but he will this time. I think they are allowing him to make such a big mistake that, like, it's so bad. I think with him sending those people over there, especially against what the Supreme Court says, and he's not bringing them back, I think that's a huge thing. And I think they are just letting him up so bad that he can't escape it this time, because I've seen him in court in orange and cuffs. And again, I'm not saying that he's going to necessarily go to jail. It could be just symbolic. And then I've seen him croak at a podium. So whether he's speaking after some sort of charges come across.
All right, y'all do me a favor and smash that like. So she is talking about, she sees Trump in orange, in handcuffs, in her psychic readings, or she sees him getting unalived, right? She has to justify the reading, people. Now, look, now have a listen. Watch where she takes this at, right?
So it's like they both go hand in hand. So yeah, give him enough rope. Exactly. And that's what I think this is happening for. Plus, 2025 is about exposure. This is why I kept going back and forth like, well, it doesn't make sense he's going to get in
Exposing your ass.
because Pluto's in Capricorn, but then we're going into Pluto and Aquarius. I don't think his energy will continue on. 2025 is about exposing betrayals. It's about exposing corruption. It's about all of that. Unless he's in, they can't get exposed. There can't be revolution, which is something I kept saying. Revolution. We're going to have a huge revolution, which we already have. Look at all the numbers, right? All the numbers that have come out in protest. So that's what I'm saying. And I'm just wondering if he really can't bring them back because they're not alive. Like, this is, I've tried to tell people, this is like history repeating itself. Back to Germany.
Arizona, I believe, Debs.
I'm the same way. Tracy, yes. Cringe Richard Allen. I can't believe people say he's innocent. It's driving me crazy.
Lol, Rachel.
Spirit does not fully name innocent people, period. And people can't see how manipulative he is. Come on. Jesus. Master manipulator is right.
Trump lady. Trump derangement.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's, I think he's going to mess up so bad with this part that, like, Congress is screaming right now to impeach him. So, we'll see.
If Congress does impeach him, right? Another thing, right? I wonder where you got that from, right? Did you read it? Even if they attempt to impeach him, you think the House is going to not override that? Right? And they impeached him already twice last time. And it didn't work that time. But let's continue because we have to justify this. Kamala's going to win the election.
See if they actually do something. They're wanting to hold him in contempt and stuff. So we'll see. Hopefully he's because he pushes the envelope so far because he knows he can get away with it. But I think there's always a barrier at some point.
That's because he's Orange Man rad, not Orange Man bad.
And Spirit's been on me to like put out those visions like in their own videos because eventually it's going to happen. But well, he has to be impeached in order to go to jail. That's what I'm saying. But it's almost like he gets impeached or goes to court or something, and then I don't know why he's at the podium, but that's when I get him stumbling back. Not the only one. I'm kind of disappointed in The Simpsons this year. I mean, I've seen the same.
That's where she gets it all.
Say it again. Fuck. Say it again.
That's where she gets it all. Yeah. She uses The Simpsons for her future prediction videos. She uses The Simpsons. That's why she said that. And people don't catch on, but that's why. For her future prediction, she uses The Simpsons videos.
When I went to stop it, I think I messed up the spot I was at. Let me see. Hold on.
All the numbers that have come out in protest.
I'm sorry.
So
it's cool. It's cool. Not your fault. It's mine.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm just wondering if he really can't bring them back because they're not alive. Like, this is, I've tried to tell people this is bad that he can't escape it this time because I've seen him in court in orange and cuffs. And again, I'm not saying that
we heard that. Hold on. We heard that.
All the numbers that have come out in protest. So we'll sending those people over there, especially.
So she's talking about chat. She's talking about the recent situation with the migrants, right? As someone who does true crime, right, talks about these cases, you would think, right, she'd be on the side of the family of Laken Riley or that other young woman. I forget what happened to that other girl who her mom has been very vocal, right? Of that Venezuelan gang member that it's been in the media keeps saying like where's he from? Missouri or Montana or I forget that guy and that guy that he's a gang member and Democrats are flying over to Venezuela trying to bring him back. There's these judges that are trying to stop Trump, right? At the end of the day, right? He's in a gang, right? He's in a gang. He's done crime. Trump deported him, right? We all knew this was one of the things he ran on, right? This is nothing new here, nothing to see here, right? But she's trying to say like these awful things, right, that Trump is doing, deporting people, right? I wouldn't say it's awful, right? Listen, man, hey, you as a former felon, Psychic Sleuth, you do the crime, you got to do the time. You know what I'm saying? We are us felons here. We have to stick together. But if you don't belong in this country, man, Americans first, of course. Listen. This is all common sense stuff right here. But this is what she's getting at into this this progressive, word salad that she's saying right here. She doesn't have all the facts because most liberals don't, but let's have a look. See.
Against what the Supreme Court says, and he's not bringing them back. I think that's a huge thing. And I think they are just letting him up so bad that he can't escape it this time, because I've seen him in court in orange and cuffs. And again, I'm not saying that he's going to necessarily go to jail. It could be just symbolic. And then I've seen him croak at a podium. So whether he's speaking after some sort of charges come across, it's like they both go hand in hand.
Okay.
So yeah, give him enough rope. Exactly. And that's what I think this is happening for. Plus, 2025 is about exposure. This is why I kept going back and forth like, well, it doesn't make sense he's going to get in because Pluto's in Capricorn, but then we're going into Pluto and Aquarius. I don't think his energy will continue on. 2025 is about exposing betrayals. It's about exposing corruption. It's about all of that. Unless he's in, they can't get exposed. There can't be revolution. I'm saying though, it's, I think he's going to mess up so bad with this part that like Congress is screaming right now to impeach him. So we'll see. We'll see if they actually do something. They're wanting to hold him in contempt and stuff. So we'll see. Hopefully he's because he pushes the envelope so far because he knows he can get away with it. But I think there's always the envelope so far. And Spirit's been on me to like put out those visions like in their own videos because eventually it's going to happen. But
here it is. Well, we should just get to the meat and potatoes, God, lady.
Well, he has to be impeached in order to go to jail.
God damn.
That's what I'm saying. But it's almost like he gets impeached or goes to court or something, and then I don't know why he's at the podium, but that's when I get him stumbling back. Not the only one. I'm kind of disappointed in The Simpsons this year. Hold on. I mean, I've seen the same vision as him. They had it for a certain day, and I just don't. I mean, I kept getting April. Maybe he'll get impeached this month.
Super delusional.
Because they're talking about it. So we'll see. Kind of just have to let things play out, right? And then there's something like maybe the whole thing about him stealing the election all to get exposed, and then she will become president. I don't know how that works.
There it is. Did you hear it? What in the hell did she just say? Then the whole thing of him stealing the election will come out, and then she will become president. So she can't help the Trump derangement. She throws in some stolen election. What? And then Kamala will become president, right? This is I'm so sorry, guys, that we all had to sit through that. Holy shit. Somebody give me a rope already. Holy shit with that lady. Get to the point. But there is one thing I want to show you that we're talking about liberal stuff and whatever have you. Has she let herself go or something like that? Because I'm looking at that and she's like, the best way I can describe the way she looks is lazy. But what's the deal here? Here's full progressiveness right here. Here's Kool-Aid hair, white dudes for Kamala. Here is Bernie Sanders all day, right? What happened to the purple Kool-Aid hair and the more progressive looking look on her?
I mean, she lost all her animals and her son on the same day.
Oh, how can I forget? Thank you, wifey, for waking up. Dun, da, da, dun, grand finale. Grand finale, people. Are you ready for this? Can we have the information about her son, what she said about the son, basically selling her son out to YouTube?
It's on your message in Twitter.
It is on my messages in Twitter. Oh, we're going there right now. Where?
Well, she told me that her son always told her she loved the animals more than him.
What about the other thing is what I'm looking for. Don't see it, Noel.
Facebook post.
Don't see it.
About
Wait.
going shopping first.
Oh, is this it right here? I knew this was going to happen.
That would be it.
When Eli went with his dad to get school clothes, how in the hell am I supposed to take care of all the animals, clean up all the dog shit on the other side of the fence, which he was supposed to do all by myself on crutches, not supposed to walk on my feet, but lightweight. So I guess I'll throw my crutches to the side and do it anyway. How dare he leave me with all this in my condition? I'm so pissed right now, I want to cry. And he tells me in the middle of a group reading that I'm fucked, and it's not fair. And fuck his dad for not putting it in his head I can figure it out. And he hasn't paid child support in 4 months. So when Eli gets home, he can feed over and crap on the crutches and see how he likes it.
I think so. I think
So she blamed her son for it. That was a little bit before she got the animals taken away, but that just shows that she's lazy and made her son do it.
Okay.
It shows that she's lazy and she's selling her own kid out for
You're
YouTube.
an asshole, because who's gonna not let their kid go shopping for school? I don't give a fuck if I have 1 or 5,000 animals. They are my responsibility to take care of, not my son or husband or everybody else's. They are mine, and my kid and his needs come first. If his father is kind enough to take him shopping for school clothes, it's probably because my poor ass isn't going to get off of my reading chair and put on my fucking crutches and everything else and take my kid shopping. So she should shut the fuck up. It's her son.
So I'm a man of 2 conversations, and I like to debunk misinformation, and I like to get both sides of the argument over here. And the fact that she's doing these cease and desists, the fact that I'm rent free, the fact that she won't stop crying, and the very fact that she did mass reporting. Who is this? Who is this? The father hasn't paid child support in 4 months. Who is this man? Who is this? Is this correct information? We're gonna have to do our due diligence and maybe give him the microphone. Maybe he can join Team White Boy Radio on a live stream and tell his side of the story.
Right.
For what?
Did you explain how you can make it?
Oh, absolutely. I read the Google thing. Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely, absolutely. I did. Yeah, I said, what about my feelings and what about my pain and sufferings?
Well, it's not just that legally that you have a right to sue her.
I know, because it was fraudulent. Yeah.
I need to find my belt. I'm sorry. What did you wake up earlier? Did you have the light on?
No.
You know, with my cease and desist letter, she's telling people that I'm telling them to go harass her. I never said that. And for 2, I'm allowed to tell my opinion and how I feel and what I saw. And it's called freedom of speech. Period.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. That's why her thing is so dead. Guys, I need a favor from you, chat. Vanish has been up here.
Good morning, man.
Blowing the whistle off this fraudulent creator. And she has a channel of 600 subscribers. Okay. I'll actually go to it right now to drop the link. But here's the thing. What I would like people to do is help me and her out. And what do I mean by this? Well, this lady has these minions which will blow up Vanishes. They don't stand a chance in my comments. That's why they don't come over here, because you guys will eat them up. But they go to Vanish's channel, right?
Brian.
And they try to, say this narrative about.
Get in your car, dude.
Not Brian.
They try to say this narrative of.
There's one that came over and called me a disgrace.
Dude, I'll go over there.
Yes.
I'll make them.
I just need you guys for anything, right? As a favor of mine, right? To jump on over there, subscribe if you want, or at the very least, get in them comments for Old White Boy and Vanish and straighten that shit out, right? You guys have plenty of common sense. I love you guys. I love my subs. Nothing makes me more happy when I drop a video and I may be busy at work or something, right? And I can't immediately get to the comments. And somebody comes to the video and they say something slick, or they stick up for somebody that maybe be in the video. Boy, I'll tell you, my subs will get on that ass, right? Before, and I love it, man. And they just kill people with wit and common sense. And I love it. It makes me so happy because I'm late to the party sometimes and you guys are on it. That's what I would like you guys to do. You know what I'm saying? So she must be in an area of coochie. I'm on it, young man. Thank you so much, Lisa. What does that say? Not coochie.
It's cochise.
Oh, cochise. That's animal control that was posted. Gotcha. So please jump on. I want you guys to jump on our channel. Did I ask you, did she ever pay you for the work that you've done, the editing videos and stuff, out of appreciation for you, for your work?
No, I never received any money, nothing. And I worked hours. And at that time, I was homeschooling 4 of my kids. And my one kid was trached at the time. And so I'd have to call my older daughter around, call my older daughter to come over and help me with my son that was trached in order to help her on her lives because she went on so late.
Okay, I have a couple more questions for you. Does Psychic Slueth offer to do readings on cases? And does she give her subs these free readings and stuff that want to know about her spirit stuff? Does she,
No.
does she offer these readings to her subscribers?
No, what she does is she says, oh, I only do the cases that come to me. But when I was helping her, she said, hey, can you search popular cases and then we'll do it? So she would basically have me search what cases were popular at the time, and then she would do them.
Well, everybody else was doing it. She would also do what everybody else was doing at the same time.
Do you feel that Psychic Slueth, right, takes advantage of her subs? And can you give examples?
Yeah, she does. She makes
to back your answer.
Well, she makes them feel sorry for her, so they give her money for anything that she needs to pay, her bills, her car payment. For the internet, she'll be like, oh, well, my internet's going to be shut up. I'm not going to be able to do any more videos unless somebody helps me pay my bill type of thing. But she doesn't go out and straight up ask.
I'm not going to be able to do videos either. I got to.
That's insane, man. Nobody
She just gives a bunch of pity parties. And then when people do request cases, she doesn't really do them. She'll say, hey, go put them in this. There's like a post where you request cases, but she won't do them because it's not something that's popular out.
Wow. So what does she have? Like a feedback, a little thing where you write it on a piece of paper and drop it in the bin like at work? Is there any problems? Now is your time to speak. That's where the cases go for the requests?
Yeah, some kind of group, but she doesn't really do them.
Just for the record, chat, none of you, I have 20,000 subscribers. Not one of you owes me anything. And you are not responsible for my bills, as I am not responsible for your bills. If we become friends off this social media thing, if you talk to me or my wife, you have my phone number and we speak. If hard times come and I am, have formed a relationship with you or something like that, if I want to help you or something behind the scenes, if I can, right? Or vice versa, whatever, right? If I become real close with you, maybe I could figure something out to help whatever you have going on, right? But that is, all behind the scenes, right? Nobody owes me anything except smashing the like and supporting the channel. That is it. That is all I ask for. I would like people to, become members and stuff, but it's not expected, right? I appreciate the ones that I have, right? These YouTubers, they have life fucked up. It's really weird, man. It's really weird. They focus on the grift so hard. It blows my mind, man. It's so lazy. It's so embarrassing, right? I've never seen so many able-bodied men and women in my life, right? Younger than 50 years of age, sitting around on YouTube, going live all day, right? you have it's crazy as hell, right? Like you have if you don't know what somebody will give you on YouTube, right? People tell me all the time, other creators and stuff, white boy, why don't you do this full time? I would love to. First and foremost, it can't pay my bills. It can't pay my bills, right? I can't pay my mortgage alone off of YouTube, what I make off YouTube, right? If I concentrated and I got serious and I put a full effort into my channel, right? And I was taking in like enough money, right? If I could cover all my bills, right? I still wouldn't do it full time at that time, right? Because I don't want to, barely be able to pay the bills, right? I want to be able to, get ahead in life and stuff, right? And with YouTube, you're subject to the next person, right? Let's look this live, for example. I have gotten, and I'm very grateful for, a $3 donation, a $2 donation, and 5 gifted memberships, right? I am very grateful for all that. Now, what is that? So it is, that's 3 and 2 is 5, right? How much does it cost to gift 5 memberships? Let's do this real fast. So it costs membership gifting, 5 is $24.95. So $30. $30. Now, YouTube takes a chunk of that, right? A chunk of that, right? You might as well say half. So I have made $15 this live, right? We have not discussed taxes yet. So you tax the $15 where we're at. We're probably around somewhere around $13, right? Still, I am very grateful for that. That goes into a Google AdSense account, right? And on the 21st of each month, right? Everybody gets paid from YouTube. White Boy gets paid. Jake Paul gets paid. Psychic Slueth gets paid. Everybody. There is no difference. Everybody's the same with Google. Now, with all that said, you're at the mercy of the next people, right? So when I'm looking at YouTube, I watch it a lot, and I see these people like never working, right? Even people I'm cool with, like they get a job, but they don't work, right? Some people are on disability. I understand that. I'm not speaking about that, right? And I'm solely speaking about creators themselves. But you would if you got like a full-time job at minimum wage, right? You would make more money than sitting around waiting on the next person. In my view, at least, I would rather be dependent on myself, right? At least I know week to week, month to month, what that minimum wage job, if that's what I was making, is going to bring in, right? I don't know what Billy or Sally might give me tomorrow on this subject that we're talking about. So these people come up with extra grifts, and hers is readings, right? Has she ever done readings with Ted Bundy for the subscribers?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
There was a couple of them. What? Not for subs. No, just readings as far as cases. Sorry.
Oh, she didn't do personal Ted readings?
I misunderstood. No, not that I'm aware of.
Where are all the TED videos at?
I think she hit them on Patreon because of you.
She absolutely did. I cannot find any TED Talks. And she's absolutely hid all the Ted Bundy lives. And Psychic Slueth, why that's great work that you've done. Why would you hide it, right? People want to know about the Ted Bundy stuff, right? But a couple more questions.
Well, I have an example on one of the subs that had contacted me. Basically, Psycho Slueth contacted her and was spam texting her and asking her to buy her fans, and she kept saying no, but Psycho Slueth kept texting her, so she finally did it. So they were $1,800 or $1,600 they were $800 a piece, so $1,600, because she made her get 2 of them. And then when she received them, she had contacted the sub again to tell her she needed to fix her electrical pan or get her a new electrical panel, because the electrical panel wasn't handling the 2 fans, and that she's the one that created the problem. So she's basically blaming the sub for creating a problem for buying the 2 fans she spam texted her for and tried to get her to get her electrical panel bigger, basically.
Really?
To
That
get,
is that's insane. I was just about to ask you if she takes advantage of her subs, but you
yep,
just
she does it. Yep. There was another one that gave her thousands of dollars to get her AC fixed, and then she turned around and told this person, "Oh, well, you donated it, so I can spend it how I want to." So she disappeared. I can't even get a hold of her, but she told me about it. And then my daughter gave her $500. So I called her and said, hey, because she was crying about her car. And so my daughter gave her $500 so that she could pay her car payment because she was crying. It was going to be shut off. Well, come to find out, I called her and I said, hey, we sent you $500. You could pay your car. Well, while I was on the phone with her, she was going shopping, went to all these stores, got home, started ordering stuff off Amazon. And then her comment was, well, I don't have any money for my car payment. Well, no, you just spent it. And then right then and there, I never sent her any more money after that because you just spent what you were crying for your car.
That is insanity.
She's spending it while she's on the phone with me.
That is extremely generous. $500. I actually got a super chat of $500 one time. It's the largest super chat I've ever gotten. That is an extraordinary amount of money for somebody to donate to a channel, and so generous of your daughter. What a piece of crap. The nerve of somebody to be shopping right after doing that is so ungrateful.
Yep. And she can't say she didn't. Yeah, and my daughter was 18. My daughter was working. Yeah, but she just turned 18. And she's like, Mom, if she needs help paying her car payment, let's help her. And I'm like, okay. And then while I was on the phone with her, she was spending it.
Thank you, Purge Queen, very much. I appreciate the compliment and you saying that I've never asked for anything and what you just have on the screen. I really appreciate that. That's insanity, Vanish. Your daughter's 18. And did you ever get an apology for that?
No.
Wasn't that for car insurance, she said?
No, her car payment. She was crying that her car payment or her car was going to be shut off and she needed to go here and she needed to go there. And me and my daughter felt bad. So we sent her $500. And while I was on the phone with her, she spent it. And then her comment was, I don't have enough to pay my car payment now. I'm like, well, I'm not sending her any more money.
That is crazy, man. Yes, we talked about the goat, babe. I pretty much covered all the notes. We didn't miss much, and the notes that you did take, I appreciate it. I was listening last night, and I actually remembered a lot more than I thought I would. We didn't miss anything. You have to. We'll listen to this on the way to work. But
she's good.
Yeah,
she's good at her words. Like she's good at convincing people. I'll give her that. She's very good at manipulating people into believing what she's saying is true.
Yes, it's creepy, isn't it? I have dealt with some creators on YouTube, and they have a similar. They do this same thing. It's very weird. It's almost like what is the words that are spoken are almost like religion, right? And it's almost like they do as instructed, right? It's almost like beyond to say. Like to make a joke about like, you know, cult thinking or running a cult is almost like to undermine it, right? It's almost above that, right? Yeah, I know exactly what you are talking about. It is insane, man. But all right, I appreciate you coming up here. What I want to tell you is what I would do. So what I'm going to do with the cease and desist is we have a toilet paper holder. And it holds like 4 rolls, right? Then we have the one in the wall. I'm gonna put this somewhere around there in case you never know. There might be a shortage of toilet paper, right? I might have to use that right to wipe my ass with. But I would do it. If I was you, I would not worry about it because you are absolutely saying you're saying nothing. You're protected by not only free speech. But the leverage that you have is insane, right? If she was to push the envelope with you, you can provide, right, with your phone records, hours upon hours of text messages, right? Hours upon hours of call logs, right? When you have, that is called leverage, right? You have so much that you've talked about. I'm sure, right? I'm sure, as someone who's gotten close to her, someone who's helped her with her channel, edited her videos, done a lot for her, right? Been a mod. I'm sure there's been certain things you've discussed with her, or certain situations where, and maybe even with your channel now, that you could really expose, but maybe you might be like, well, damn, if I say that, are people going to look at me different or something like that?
Well, she said that people wouldn't believe me.
You have
she's always like, don't repeat that.
Yeah, you have nothing but receipts. That's what your channel is. You know, you're on. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you hold the keys to a lot of what she doesn't want out. You know, even if it might hurt you, you can do it. But she's not too smart. This is not calculated. This is fake, and nothing is sealed. Nothing is expunged. If an article is removed, right?
That doesn't make it not true, though.
Yeah, I nailed it. Yeah, exactly. And any article that I've ever read regarding her was regarding her convictions, her fraudulent psychic activity. And if any article was removed off of Google because she's a Karen, it doesn't mean that, it doesn't change your the convictions that you have with the animal abuse stuff. That doesn't make it go, you know? So, you know, so whatever article I may have sourced, and this is what's so silly with her. If I did a live stream about her, I probably read an article for like 2 minutes of an hour and a half, 2 hour stream, right? So, you know, like at the very least, if I would comply, I would edit the 2 minutes out, but I cannot even give her that. Not gonna do it. Not doing it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna move forward on this actually. So this is the find out phase. You're gonna have to happen. And Ted should tell you this is coming. Ted should tell you this is coming.
Yeah. Well, she says the article is a lie. Well, how is the article a lie when it's from the police station?
Yeah. She was convicted of animal abuse, correct?
Cruelty. Animal cruelty and animal abuse, yeah.
Not good. So before I let you go, because I do have to go for work, I want to wrap this up by saying, in my opinion, off the information you have given us today and the previous lives that I've done, sorry. I think, in my opinion, that Psychic Slueth is a con artist scammer, someone, a creator who sad fishes. He researches her information and then goes live and says that spirit gave it to her. I think she manipulates her audience, uses her audience, and she's not an honest person.
Yep. And I will, and in the court of law, I will testify to everything that I said because it's all true.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, that's another thing she would not want problems with. You cannot cry defamation, you know, with the whole racist and addict stuff. We have totally forgotten segments of Don and Candace Wells, what she's claimed they have done to her daughter, who are friends of mine, who, you know, she would go through a horrible thing.
And what she's saying about Sebastian's mom.
Yep, absolutely. I'm very friendly with Don and Candace Wells. Everybody knows that. I also speak to Chris Proudfoot. Everybody knows that, you know, so it is interesting to say the least. We will keep everybody updated on this. As of right now, I am unsure how I want to handle this. All I would ask everybody on my end to know is there'll be no ceasing or desisting of anything. Go ahead.
And I was talking to somebody and they said that she has to prove she's a psychic first before she can take us to court.
That's correct. She would have to prove she's a psychic in a court of law. And the second, let's say she was able to do that. Let's just say, let's paint this picture, right? Let's say she was able to prove
That's
she's a
funny.
psychic. The very second that you know, hypothetically and all, the very second that the judge was like, okay, I think she's a psychic, I would say, Your Honor, you have one statement to say. So there's the whole thing where she talks to Ted Bundy, Your Honor. I'm gonna need a continuance to. I need to subpoena him because he's in the case as well.
Would we have to?
And you know, this would be literally like, this would be all like case law. This would go down like this would be horrendous. People Googling her name. I think, but I do want to leave this live. I want to end this live by saying the ball is not in her court by any means, people. I don't want to say like it wouldn't be smart for her to do so and this and that. I mean, it wouldn't be, but at the same time, I don't know what I want to do. We may move forward on this. And I speak for myself when I say that.
And that's what she's gonna say. Oh my gosh, they are fighting this and that. Subs, I need you guys to pay me millions of dollars. It's no one's fucking responsibility but your own, lady. You start it. You gotta pay for it.
It's all good in the hood.
The truth's coming out, and she don't like it.
She doesn't like it. The trashy pimps, scammers, they do not like when people are talking about calling their grift out and their bad behavior out because it's exposure on it. You know, I'm sure, I know from conversations through you, I know that there's, you know, several people who have, you know, veered away from her channel, who have stopped directly giving her money. And, you know, shout out to all those people, whether you want it to be public or not, whether you want it to be known or not. I applaud you. And everybody, I'm going to drop Banish's channel one more time. If you catch this on the replay, I need you guys at the very least to go over there and get in them comments, right?
I've been dropping Vanish's link.
Yeah, I would like to see her subs go up a little bit. I applaud anybody who is in support of some of these bad actors that we talk about and initially gets away. And then they speak up about it, right? What happens on YouTube, because this is actually my own story, in a sense, right? When I came to the true crime community, I had a channel and I had subscribers. I think I was around like 8,000 or so. And maybe it was about 10. And Molly Golightly, we fell out with her and Bullhorn Betty. She tried to overpower me, overpower my truth and my wife's truth, because here she is with 80,000 subs. So anything, I would get trampled by these people. They come over and tell me that I'm lying and doing this. So I understand how frustrating it is, right? I understand you're trying to get truth with receipts and these people. So, you know, so that's why I ask people to go over there, because I've been there and I've done that, right? And just because somebody has more followers or subscribers than you does not mean they have more truth than you at all.
I don't care
Right.
if you're supportive of somebody for like 5, 10, 25, 35 years. Please, I don't care how many subs they have or what they say or how dramatic they are or if they have a crystal ball. Don't let them make you look stupid. Never allow anyone in this world to make you look stupid. If there's proof out there of one thing and this person is like, no, that one thing isn't there, you don't even know that person is lying. You're not looking at what you think you are. No, you're letting this person allow you to look stupid, and you're allowing yourself to look like an idiot, fighting for that person, defending their bullshit. It's not smart, people. You do not have to be a blind, loyal supporter. You're allowed to open your eyes and learn, holy shit, this isn't the right person. This is the person that I thought they have been all this time. You've been supporting somebody. You're loyal to them. You love them. Nothing wrong with it. But when the truth comes out and the person's crying like a baby about that situation, really sit there and think about it. Is it worth me looking like a dumbass
I outrun it.
person, or should I
People don't seem to give a crap that Trump is a sexual
Here's Trump derangement.
predator, but I can't outrun this. Like, what the
And I have one more clip. I did a parody about this, guys. I'm going there now. I did a parody about this right here, because she forgets what she says, right? So I did a parody about her sending me black magic, right? And I'm walking around.
yeah.
I did a parody. It's on my channel. I say that Psychic Slueth sent me. She's doing black magic, and she sent black magic to my house. And I walk around, and I flip the phone, and it's a pile of dog poop. And I say, her and Ted Bundy sent it to me. It was a parody, right? So she, after she learns that I'm like gonna ignore the cease and desist because I made a post about it, she then goes on her channel. She's like, yeah, it's true. The cease and desist and the harassment. Here comes the victim stuff and all this. And then she's like, yeah, I guess I'm doing black magic now too. Lady, I'm reacting off things that you say, because in this live, you're specifically having a massive Karen attack about me. And here's your own words we'll end with.
I wish, Phoenix. And then my friend was like, I want to know why you had so many, like, what happened? Like, what made you? And I'm like, dude, like, why does it fucking matter? Like, this is years ago. I made videos about it. Here's the pictures. Like, fuck's sake. Yeah, I don't rescue husbands. You can keep the husband. Thank you. You know, Phoenix, I've really thought about going to the dark side lately for spells and stuff. The only problem is you get the backlash. So I'd like to know how to do it without the backlash.
So why did you have this? Why did you have this live about White Boy Radio, and you are talking about the dark side and black magic and spells and stuff? Lady, I have 2 words for you: Jesus Christ. I believe in Jesus. I rebuke you, your devil and spirit stuff, in the name of Jesus. Don't you send that shit over here.
Oh, God.
Seriously.
She is a witch. She is.
I rebuke you in the name of Jesus Christ. You witch.
Ooh, if we put salt on her, will she sizzle like a slug?
Yeah, but listen to this crap.
Yeah, I only met her a couple times, and I don't even actually go to that feed store anymore because I don't need to. The other feed store has my dog food where they don't. They're closer, but they don't have my dog food. So I go to the place that has my dog food. Actually, they start getting hay out here now, so I only get hay like.
Anyway, I think that's it on the black magic, but it's crazy, people. You know, old white boy literally and vanished on panel right now. Okay, with wifey in the background as well. And you guys in the comments have gotten this lady so triggered that she's considering, these are her words, doing spells. Like, people, this is like on a different level type of like, now you get the ego thing I was talking about earlier. Out of control. All right, I got to get off this thing. Y'all, I love everybody for joining it. Vanish, I got to go. The time got ahead of me. All right?
All right. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for
all.
coming up.
Call me later.
Thanks for coming up.
Okay. Yep. Bye.
All right, chat. Listen, guys, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I do got to get to work. I didn't realize how late it was. She goes hard to defend. Sharing passionate writings. That's interesting. What's up, Sherry? All right. I got to get off this thing, guys. I did not understand how late it was. I do have to leave my house. I got a long drive. I love y'all for hanging out with us, learning about this nutcase. Please share it. I'll link some stuff in. And what's up, B Frank? Thank you, guys. Please help Vanish out my guest. You know, get them comments. You guys are awesome. You know what you do. You know what I'm talking about. All right. I got to get out of here, man. Thank y'all. Peace. What's up, guys? Hope you enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe to my clip channel at White Boy Radio Clips. And in the description box is the link to be a member. Become a member if you can. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Stay safe, stay smart. Peace.